bro, I think it's time to officially make this statement. If you're a Sebastian Fundora lover and you can't take criticism when criticism is deserved, then this video isn't for you. But I'm gonna tell you guys like this. I'm about to go off on Sampson, Lewkowicz, his manager, and I'm about to go off on Fundora. Following the breaking news that Sebastian Fundora's manager made, Sampson Lewkowicz, says they will not be facing Jerome Boots Ennis in a unification fight, a fight that Eddie Hearn and Jerome Boots Ennis were trying to chase immediately, trying to make boxing better than what it is, trying to make the biggest, best fights for the fans, give the fans, us, who pay for these pay-per-views, give us what we want to see. Sampson Lewkowicz makes a statement and says they will not be facing Jerome Boots Ennis, but instead face their mandatory. Keep in mind, they weren't ordered to enter negotiations and giving a specific date to meet that negotiation. If that didn't happen, then the fight would go to purse bid. None of that happened. This is a non-forced mandatory fight that Sebastian Fundora and his team have decided to choose instead of entering a huger, way bigger payout, more money fight against Jerome Boots Ennis. Unification fight. Getting both of y'all one more step closer to becoming undisputed champion. And keep in mind, unification bouts trump mandatories. People are out here saying, oh, well, he has to face him. That's his mandatory. No, he don't. They could offer him some side money. Eddie Hearn would pay this guy some side money to be able to step aside. He tried doing it with Andrew Maloney, who fought against Willie Baldo Garcia, took his bout. When Jesse Bam Rodriguez wanted to fight him, Eddie Hearn offered this dude hundreds of thousands of dollars. What was it, 200, 250? Maloney turned it down, rolled the dice, but won. Unlike guys like Shakram Gayazov, who took step-aside money many times. And by the time that he was getting ready to be ordered to face Rolly Romero for the WBA welterweight title, their team was already writing petitions. We're already complaining on social media, saying that they've been mandatory for long enough. But they took step-aside money. This fight actually does not need to happen as soon as Mr. Sampson Lewkowicz and Sebastian Fundora are going into this. This fight don't have to happen yet. Ladies and gentlemen, what are they doing? They're keeping Sebastian Fundora safe. I'm going to tell you like this. Sebastian Fundora is a duck. I'm calling him a duck. You can argue that in the comments all y'all want. But I'm calling this man a duck because here's why. It is Sampson Lewkowicz who is known for taking care of his fighters, not really caring about the fans, but doing what's best for his fighters, keeping them safe, making them the most money, not putting them into the biggest, best fights. But it is Sebastian Fundora that allows this. Let me take you back to when Xander Zayas was the mandatory against Sebastian Fundora at the time, who was the unified WBC, WBO junior middleweight champion of the world. Xander Zayas becomes his mandatory. And Sebastian Fundora, who, keep in mind, Mr. Sampson Lewkowicz, before all this, was saying that they will not vacate their bouts. They will not vacate their WBO title if they end up having to face Xander Zayas. They will not vacate their WBO title. But then they ended up vacating their title instead of facing Xander Zayas. Why? To go fight Tim Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora, and I got the clip to show you guys, he blamed it on his manager. He blamed it on the business. of boxing. And they asked him, well, does that, does it suck that you're losing your WBO title because of them? And he says he doesn't care.
I know you had to vacate a belt for this fight. Why the rematch when I know you told me you wanted to become undisputed as well in this weight class and you gave up the strap? Why? Talk to me about that decision making.
It's just business, the business of boxing. I don't get a pick who I get to fight next. And it looks like that on social media, but my promoter, that's what I have promoters for, that's what I have managers for. They do that. I just train and get ready for the fight, and whoever they put me with, I fight them.
Was there any hesitancy when you found out it was Zoo and you were going to have to give up a belt because that's what they worked out?
Nah, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me.
Y'all know Sebastian Fundora. If you don't pay attention to this man, don't watch his press conferences and nothing, that y'all don't know. But this man ain't fond of the sanctioning bodies. He don't care about the WBO. He don't care about none of these titles except the WBC. Straight up. This guy almost, he basically should go to Zuffa Boxing. If it wasn't for liking the WBC, he says he don't care about the sanctioning bodies. He ain't trying to pay no sanctioning fees, and he ain't letting people force him in what to do. So Mr. Sampson was questioned about vacating the title, even though he said that he wouldn't. Vacating it to fight Tim Tszyu in a rematch rather than facing Xander Zayas. And Sampson said, with Tim Tszyu, we're going to be able to do a pay-per-view. With Xander Zayas, maybe pay-per-view, but not as much. It's a bigger reward, more lucrative to go fight Tim Tszyu than fight and defend our WBO title against Xander Zayas. The whole time we know Mr. Sampson Lewkowicz is trying to keep Sebastian Fundora safe. This is a man, Sampson Lewkowicz, who steered Sebastian Fundora away from facing Xander Zayas to going to Tim Tszyu 2, to blaming it on the money and everything like that, to now going away from the money, going away from Jerome Boots Ennis, the high pay-per-view, the viewership, all that. He's going away from that to going to fight against Hodgepodge? This dude who started boxing at the age of 25 years old? Bruh, go do your research on this man, Amar Hodgepodge. He was an amateur MMA fighter turned MMA fighter. A mixed martial artist, yes. And then started his professional career in 2019. He's 32 years old right now. He's been in the game for about 7-8 years now. He transitioned over to boxing, but he was an MMA fighter. At 25 years old, he decided to transition over. Sebastian Fundora sat there and allowed Sampson Lewkowicz to do this. So, do y'all remember when Keith Thurman fought against Sebastian Fundora? The post-press conference, Sean Tatal was questioning Sampson Lewkowicz, asking him about Virgil Ortiz. The man was going off on Virgil Ortiz, absolutely disrespecting him, saying that the dude's not even relevant. Look at what he did to Oscar De La Hoya. Why should we even talk about that guy? And guess what? He's going to be stripped of his WBC interim junior middleweight title. That's what Sampson Lewkowicz was saying. Y'all don't remember? And then Sean Tatal, he was telling Sean Tatal, bro, give me questions about guys who are actually in the sport right now. I don't want to talk about Virgil Ortiz. He's not relevant. So Sean Tatal goes and asks him, all right then, well, what about the winners out of Xander Zayas and Jerome Boots Ennis? And what does Sampson say? Oh, well, we do what the PBC wants. As long as the PBC and, it's going to be on PBC, then we're with it. The dude already knew in the back of his head. He didn't be like, yeah, we're going to make this fight happen next. It's going to be a unification fight. He already knew that they did not want this fight for Sebastian Fundora. Their team is ducking. That's why I say Sebastian Fundora is ducking, because he's part of this team and he don't stand up for himself. He don't care. Why? Because I don't know. The dude doesn't care about greatness. He don't. He let us know that already. Mr. Sampson Lewkowicz. These dudes would rather go into a lower paying fight when they were making that excuse of using the excuse up with Tim Tszyu, talking about it's better for business, it's better for the family of Fundora. Yeah, make it make sense. This is absolutely breaking news. Sampson, Lewkowicz, Sebastian Fundora, just moving all bad. And now it's starting to all come together. Because Xander Zayas was one thing, but now Jerome Boots Ennis immediately is trying to make this division on fire. And now y'all just gonna stop it? It's on fire right now. Y'all just gonna pour water on it? Now Jerome Boots Ennis got to go look after Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly don't even want to fight. What is y'all doing? Sebastian Fundora is a duck for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.